Hey guys, welcome back to Just Driven. I am Daryl, and today I'm going to share something I've been doing for over 40 years now, and that is what to look for when you're buying a used car. Now, I've been buying, selling, and fixing cars since I was 16. I've owned multiple body shops, and if you guys have been following along on our channel, you'll know that I'm the idiot.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Always searching on the internet through as many auctions and listing sites as you can imagine, and that's where most of the cars come from that you see on our channel that we are building. So I've sort of developed a pretty sharp eye for spotting problems that most people would likely miss. So I put together some tips, and these tips are designed for first-time buyers, parents buying a car for their kids, or anyone who doesn't want to get burned buying a used ride. So let's get into this. I think you're going to enjoy this video. Let's get started.
And it's lights out and away we go!
So let's assume you're on one of those many online sites where cars are advertised for sale or up for auction. Before you ever even think about setting up an appointment or pulling the trigger to buy, you need to take a really hard look at those photos.
Yeah.
Those photos that should be well detailed on the listing, because they are the first line of defense when you're shopping for a car. And not all listings are created equal. People throw up 4 to 5 blurry images in bad lighting, while others, especially on those better sites, post hundreds of detailed shots that show everything, the good and the bad. Let's talk about Bring a Trailer. That honestly is a great example site. Bring a Trailer is one of my favorite places to gauge the specialty car market. Whether it's exotics or classics or high-end cars worth more than $50,000, that site in particular has strict requirements for sellers. Lots of photos, sometimes hundreds, plus cold start videos, driving videos, and fairly detailed descriptions. They have quite a few protocols in place that prevent sellers from hiding things. VIN numbers are always shown, and in most cases, plates are visible, and often the listing even includes a Carfax report. If the car's been on their site previously, it'll even show up in their alumni records. So that level of transparency, in my opinion, makes Bring a Trailer one of the best places to shop for specialty cars. It gives you an opportunity to buy without having to hop on a plane and fly out there. Of course, you can always pay for an inspection facility to come out and take a look at it if it's a real expensive car, and I always recommend that when you're dealing with cars over $75,000. A couple $100 will send a guy out there to crawl underneath it and take way more photos than you'll probably even look at. But it's just one of those other safety guards you could take advantage of. Okay, so now if you're shopping for something more everyday, like a typical used transportation car, something economical, a truck, or even a comfortable sedan or SUV, you'll likely be on places like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, OfferUp. Those places are fine, but here's where you need to be extra careful. If the seller only posts a handful of pictures, that's not enough. Ask yourself, what are they hiding?
What are you hiding?
Or maybe they're just inexperienced and don't realize buyers need more info. Either way, you've got to be able to ask questions. And if you don't get responses to your requests, then move on to the next. And if, by the way, you're on Facebook Marketplace, don't just hit the all too commonly used "Is it still available" button.
Is that still available? Is that still available? Is that still available? It's still available?
Is this still available?
Still available?
That drives sellers insane, and usually most don't even respond. If you're seriously interested in the car, start with asking them questions about it to ensure you're actually talking to a real seller. And don't be afraid to give them your phone number, so they'll know you're serious and not wasting their time either. You can always ask them to send you a short video of whatever it is you're concerned about or something you didn't see in the listing. So here are some of the biggest red flags I've seen in car photos over the years. Cars photographed wet, water hides paint flaws, scratches, dents, and mismatched body panels. A shiny wet car looks better than it really is. Don't fall for it. Driveway shadows or nighttime photos. Poor lighting makes it hard to see if the paint colors even match. or reveal waves or scratches. Oddly cropped photos, maybe you see the driver's side, the passenger side, the rear, and some interior shots, maybe even the trunk or engine bay, but no front end shot. That's suspicious to me. Why not show the headlights, grille, hood, bumper, and fenders? Could they be hiding something? Does the paint not match? Always ask for the missing angles. Don't assume it's good because everything else looks good. Too few photos. If you only see 5 or 6 pictures, that's not enough to buy with confidence. A serious seller provides detailed coverage. Ask for more photos. And don't stop at the outside. If the car looks interestingly enough to pursue it, ask the seller to send you the photos they didn't show. Get shots of the headliner to make sure it's not sagging or drooping. Get a clear picture of the dashboard to make sure it doesn't have cracks or shrinkage.
I think women know about shrinkage.
Let's face it, when you're looking through that windshield, which you'll be doing a lot of, the first thing you're going to see is a cracked dash, and that could ruin the whole experience. Also, ask for photos of the Federal label in the door jamb, along with photos of the VIN plate. Then take a close look at those photos. If the label in the door jamb is missing, then that should trigger some concern. Maybe that panel was replaced, or it was damaged enough that required extensive body work, and they painted the door jamb and never bothered to order a new one from the factory. Look closely at the photos to see if you see overspray on the striker plate or bolts. This is a big deal for me. Cars come from the factory with no overspray on those jambs, and oftentimes shops neglect to put the sponge tape in the door gaps, allowing for paint to get in there, and that's always a sign of substandard repair work. So make sure you look for that stuff. That is the go-to thing I do. I always look at the door jambs. In fact, there's nothing wrong with asking the seller to just open the door and take a picture of the actual door itself and its jamb, and then the striker plate and the B-pillar portion of the car. That's important. Ask to see under the trunk mat too. Check for rust. Ask for shots of the rocker panels and wheel wells, especially if the car came from the East Coast where salty roads eat metal alive. Rust might not be obvious in a polished listing photo, but a few extra shots, honestly, they'll tell the truth. These requests save you from wasting time, gas, and money chasing a car that's not really worth chasing. The next step happens before you even step foot on the seller's driveway or at a car lot. Today, most cars are listed online. Facebook, Marketplace, eBay, Craigslist, AutoTrader, Carfax, OfferUp, and the list goes on. And you'll notice a lot of sellers cover their license plates in the photos. I know all of you guys have seen it. That little thumb that just happens to cover up the license plate. Ask yourself, why hide it? Some sellers will say they're worried about strangers getting their home address from a plate. Truth is, that's just not how it works. There are privacy laws in place. The average person can't run a plate and pull up your name and address.
Well, I was hoping you could run a plate for us. We are in a really big hurry.
Dealers have access under very specific circumstances, but the general public does not. So if a seller insists on hiding their plate, I'm always a bit suspicious. Sometimes they're just copying what they see others do, but other times they don't want you digging into their car's past. Before I ever hop in the car to go see a vehicle, I ask the seller for the VIN number and the license plate. That way I can run a Carfax or similar report. Those reports aren't always perfect, and no, they don't always catch everything, but they give you a ton of valuable information like accident history, service records, number of owners, and the state it's registered in. So this is important because so many times I've heard sellers say it's never been in an accident, and then you pull the Carfax, boom, accident reported. That doesn't automatically kill the deal. If it's just a light fender bender that's been repaired properly, it may not be a big deal at all, especially if you're just buying a commuter car. But it does affect value, and it definitely matters if you're buying something collectible or as an investment. Here's the way I look at it. Fender bender repairs are part of life. Cars get rear-ended at stoplights, scratched in parking lots, keyed, you name it. If the repair work was done right, the car can still be perfectly safe and reliable and give you tons and tons of value over the years of use, as long as you maintain it properly. The bigger issue is when the seller claims it's clean and the paper trail says otherwise. That's where you need to adjust your expectations and the price you're willing to pay for it. And remember, not every repair shows up on Carfax or related service. A lot of people skip insurance claims because they don't want their rates going up and would rather just take it directly to a body shop. However, a certified body shop that is registered with the insurance industry will record the car's VIN.
I've never driven them.
When ordering parts for that VIN, a lot of those systems will report to Carfax or related companies, showing those parts were replaced on that car's report. All right, guys, I hope this video shed a little light on the tricks, traps, and little red flags that can pop up when you're buying a used car. Whether it's flippers trying to make a quick buck or just sellers who don't even realize what they're leaving out. The goal here is simple. Arm yourself with knowledge so you don't waste your time, your money, and your sanity. Because let's face it, there's nothing worse than buyer's remorse. Maybe there is, like paying $5 for a car and then finding out it needs $5 in repairs the next day. So don't be that guy. These little tips, once you're aware of them, really can save you headaches, heartaches, and a whole lot of cash. Remember, a used car is still a used car. Once you've made the deal, protect yourself. Take it to a trusted mechanic, somebody who cares, somebody who comes highly recommended, and get it fully serviced so you know exactly what you're working with. If it's newer, you might even be able to tack on a warranty plan, and hey, a little peace of mind goes a long way. The whole reason I wanted to make this video was just to share what I've learned over decades of buying, selling, repairing, and fixing cars. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
And if I can help you avoid some of those ugly surprises, then this video has done its job. Now, I'd love to hear from you guys. Drop a comment below. Tell me about the car you bought that turned out to be a total disaster, or even better yet, maybe the opposite. That cheap little beater you drove for 200,000 miles without a hiccup. Those stories are gold, and they help everyone in the community learn a little more. And finally, if you enjoyed this, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, but it means the world to us. It's all part of how we keep doing what we love, building cars, telling stories, and sharing it all with you guys. Thanks again for hanging out with me today. I appreciate every single one of you who watches and supports us. Until next time, keep your eyes open, your wallet safe, and we'll see you in the next video.